Salvage, where we make stuff out of junk. So if you've watched us before, you know that we have a junk box challenge, and that's what today is. So a customer donates a box full of random junk and challenges us to make home decor out of it. So thank you, Anne, for donating all this fun stuff. And we'll go through it and we'll show you what it is, and then we'll talk about what it may become, and you'll get to watch the process, and it might be a fail. We never know. So let's get started. I'll go first, I guess. Some of this, we talk about this the day ahead of time, just so that we're prepared and we have all the materials. And yesterday I called the ladies and told them what, the stuff could become. But I changed my mind on a couple of things, so you guys are in for a treat.
We're used to it.
So
it's always good.
We have these embroidery hoops, and it looks like they had like a primitive Christmas wreath or something made out of it. But what I thought would be cute is we also have this basket, and I thought it might be cute to stick the basket in there and then have Ivy plant the basket up, and then have Ivy go like in a ring, like kind of like a wreath. I don't know. We'll see.
I thought we were going to bury the basket.
Yeah, and plant it. I said let's plant the basket.
That's
it for the basket.
So we'll put like fabric in the basket so that the dirt doesn't go through, and then I have some annuals, and then maybe I'll stain this. We'll see. And then that little spoon, we create planter sticks.
Yeah,
what do you call
plant
it?
markers.
Plant markers.
Yeah, but I like it for rings too.
Yeah, and Angie likes, but that's a cute spoon, and we'll show you how we create a plant marker from that.
And we have these really cool old hangers with the clips on them. So we're going to be, are we painting the hangers?
We might.
We might.
Yeah.
But we have some cool prints we're going to be hanging from the clips on here. That'll be like a frame without the frame.
Mm-hmm. And then I think we're going to make out of these, this comes apart, and there's two other hangers. We'll hot glue a bag together that can hold clothespins.
You know what I did with those one time is I put those little hooks all the way across, the gold hooks, and then I hung my necklaces from it.
Yeah, you can do all kinds
that's
of
a
cute
good idea.
things with hangers. Yeah.
Sherbets.
We're
We're going to turn them into a candle or succulents we're going to put in there.
Yeah.
Were they going to do this one upside down too? We're going to do that separate.
Yep, I think both of them are going to be like
One upside down and with Eve 6000. And then they almost look like a candle. We're going to put a candle in there or succulents.
Mm-hmm. And then we also have this tin piece. I think it's like home interiors. It's tin wall art, and I thought that we could paint that and use that as part of a centerpiece with those cups.
So pretty.
So I changed my mind on
Oh,
that.
okay.
So we have a Jello mold.
We're not making Jello.
Oh, come on.
No, come
on. So I originally thought we could make it into a little lampshade or a hanging light, which is like a farmhouse decor, but not really my style. So then last night I went to Menards and I got some Quikrete, and I'd like to try and make a little pot with the shape.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of an experiment because...
That might be our fail.
Well, yeah, it might be our fail. Because I don't know it needs to be lined so that the concrete doesn't stick to
Saran wrap.
this tip, or this tin. And I thought it was saran wrap, but then I was like, well, concrete, when you mix it up, it heats up, so I don't want it to melt the saran wrap.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wax paper?
Wax paper,
Or
tinfoil.
Tinfoil.
I don't know. Or
what do you call
we could oil it too.
Parchment
We
paper?
could try and oil it. So there's all kinds of ideas.
We'll
don't
come
know.
up with something.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. But wouldn't that be a cute little stone planter in that shape? So.
Or you could just put it around the outside. But then you can only do it once.
Then I can only do it once.
Yeah.
Because if it turns out, it would be kind of cool to do it over and over again. But alright, so Julia took that one away from me. I changed my mind.
This
Oh,
one,
yeah,
this
sure.
is nice, easy. Well, it's not as easy as this one. So we have this beautiful box. Look at how pretty that is. Just gorgeous. So we're gonna leave it the same color, but I think we're just gonna embellish it with some rub and buff to bring out, to kind of highlight the beautiful design in that.
That's so pretty.
Yes. Gorgeous.
This is plate hangers. Where you just display your beautiful decorated plates. But we're going to turn it and put it together like a teepee. And then we're going to put ivy on it or something? Or moss or what?
Yeah, so I have these frames. So if you haven't seen our lampshade makeover, our lampshade moss makeover, you should go check that video out. But in the last video, we covered some old wire lampshades with moss, and I love the look. It's so pretty. So I thought we would try it with frames and put the moss around the frames, and then put the frames on this plate hanger. And then I have a couple other more rustic frames too that we can throw in with the mix. So yeah, so we'll just see how it turns out. A pretty display.
Are we going to paint that?
Yes, definitely need to paint the wire. My turn? So we have this very pretty shelf, and it has a piece of glass that goes on top. It's wrapped in cardboard. I'll bring the shelf up. And all this needs is a little paint, I think. It just looks like that, and it's kind of old and worn out, so I think just white paint, neutral color would be pretty.
And then there's this. We're not doing anything with this. It's so pretty. It's pretty. That'll be on the website.
Yes, that is so pretty.
Tells what it's about on the back.
It's a harbor picture.
Yes.
Some things are just naturally beautiful, like me.
Right.
Right. What does it say on the back? It's like a picture of some sailboats at the dock, where the Brownie home port, where the Brownie fisherman gives thanks for his safe return to family and home, is from an original oil painting by Freddie Peterson, who was born in Denmark and studied extensively in Europe before entering the United States in 1924.
Ooh.
So that's an oldie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
All right, should we get started?
Let's go.
All right. Julie attached the two plate hangers with some wire before going outside and spray painting them. She took the hangers along with everything else that was going to be sprayed and took them outside as well. It was such a beautiful day. It's so nice to work outside so we're not breathing in any of the fumes. I also took the embroidery hoops outside and stained them with a dark stain. I printed a pretty picture from the Graphics Fairy online with regular printed paper and started ripping the edges.
I then Mod Podged the ripped edges and put some antique gold leafing along the wet edges. Once this was dry, I tore any loose leafing off. This is such a pretty method to add some detail to a printed picture. We hung this print from the hanger with the clamps. After seeing this piece all together, I do think that the clamps and the wire on the hanger could use some gold rub and buff. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Angie hot glued sheet masks to 2 of the empty frames. This project is a pretty display and gives an alternative idea of what to do with those old decorative plate hangers. I will show you pictures at the end of how everything turned out, so stay tuned. If you have been watching so far and like what you see, please give this video a thumbs up, as it really helps push our video and channel out on YouTube. And of course, we would love it if you subscribed and joined our YouTube community. We didn't have to do a lot to this beautiful gold box, but to freshen it up, Julie just dabbed some rub and buff on her finger and highlighted the details. For the shelf, after it had dried from spray painting it white, we also took rub and buff and highlighted the details on it as well. To repurpose the small embroidery hoops, Angie put some really pretty toile in them and tied a ribbon and glued a button on them to finish it off. She also hot glued 2 bags together and ironed a clothesline picture from the graphics fairy that I had printed off on iron-on transfer paper. We then tacked them to the painted hangers. These would be cute in a laundry room to hold clothespins, or even pretty with greenery in them. To my surprise, the Jello mold concrete pot turned out. I ended up using a plastic bag to line the Jello mold with. This whole thing was an experiment. I just put the concrete mix in a bucket and poured enough water so the mixture held together when squeezed. I put this mixture into the lined Jello mold and dug a little concave hole in the middle. I could have used like a plastic cup or something to make this hole, but this seemed to be working. I let this dry for about 9 hours and it came out so easily. I didn't think it was going to come out that easily, but it just slipped out. All I had to do was lift the plastic bag and it peeled right off. Now the pot did turn out a little rougher than I wanted, so if I were to do this again, I would use a quick setting concrete that doesn't have as many rocks. I wanted a sealed look, so after letting the concrete dry for a few days, I clear coated it with a clear outdoor spray. I filled the pot with pea rock and added some faux succulents. This is so adorable and I can't wait to make more. Julie makes little plant markers out of old spoons. She pounds the spoons flat against a metal block and then decoupages cute little pictures on them. This made a cute little addition to the concrete planter. For the next project, Angie glued the small cups together with E6000 to create a tea candle holder, and the tin wall decor got painted white and was distressed. As I was staging this, I realized that the tin flowers could hold little candlesticks. This ensemble turned out to be quite a pretty display. I saved the best project for last. We would love it if you left a comment on what your favorite repurposed item is out of this junk box. My favorite project from this box of stuff was this large embroidery hoop with the basket. I took the handles off the basket and then lined the basket with landscape fabric. I set the embroidery hoop in the middle of the basket. If you wanted to make something like this a little sturdier, you could use some floral wire and wire the hoop to the basket. But once I had everything together, the hoop was pretty sturdy, so I didn't feel like I needed to. I placed my ivy next to the hoop in the middle and wrapped it up around. I wanted a backdrop to the ivy, so I used 2 small asparagus ferns for the back and filled the basket with dirt. I used cocoa bean mulch on some of my gardens, and I had a little left over, so I finished the top of the pot with some of the mulch, which gives it a beautiful look along with the fresh cocoa bean smell. I did end up wiring the ivy to the hoop so it would train it and stay a little better. This is my favorite project out of everything that we did today. So we are just about done today. We have a couple things that are needing some dry time, but other than that, we're finished. So we'll kind of show you what we came up with. This is a team effort altogether. I think all 3 of us worked on this project. So they're little clothespin bags, and they can hold greenery too, or whatever you want. Super cute.
Very cute.
We decided that this fabric was really pretty. We just put that in there with some buttons and ribbon.
Yes, very Frenchy.
And here's another hanger project. Turned out really cute. Amy found the graphic and then added the gold leaf on the outside.
This is my favorite.
Yeah, it is my
This is my favorite. Don't forget that old baskets can be turned into planters. And even if it's for one season, that's fine if they're old and decrepit baskets, because you know I don't know how well they'll hold up with moisture. But this is beautiful. It just adds texture to your planter with your planter, and then with the greenery. So cute.
The little candlesticks. They were glued together, and then we put succulents in there. We might rearrange and put something else in there too, but they were very simple to do.
This formerly green and floral, all white, and then that goes with a little shelf, glass shelf on it that we will attach.
And we'll see how this turns out. I'm not sure, but
Don't tip it upside down.
Yeah, right. It's drying. So as you saw, I put the concrete in the Jello mold, and I'm just waiting for it to dry. I'm not sure if it's going to crumble apart because I think that it would be better to have a grout or a quickcrete that does not have so many rocks in it. This one had a lot of rocks, so
that's interesting.
That's how it looks as it's drying. We might add, it's drying still, I might add some rub and buff to the edges of the leaves.
And this is how that pretty gold box turned out. So much brighter with the rub and buff on it. Just gorgeous.
You could use that as a planter too. My mind is on planters because, you know, it's that season, but you could put succulents in that little box if you wanted. And then did we do this? This is
we didn't do that.
the teepee frame display out of the plate holder. And Angie covered the frames with moss, and then we have a few extra frames down below. So you could really put any kind of frames on on the plate holder. Julie pounded.
Yep, I pounded that spoon and added a graphic, beautiful flower to it, and decoupaged it on. It's waterproof decoupage, so.
Alright, well, if you liked this video and you like creating things out of junk, or just like to watch for inspiration, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. It really helps us out. You can shop for our Beautiful Salvage fun finds and creations at beautifulsalvage.com, and also follow us on Facebook, where we keep you updated about different events and also our building renovation. We're building a new boutique right now, which is really exciting. So thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful day. Bye!